If you recently started dating again, maybe you're divorced, maybe widowed, maybe coming out of a long relationship, you might feel like dating has completely changed since the last time you were in it. The apps, the swiping, the vague conversations that go nowhere, the blurred lines, the situationships. It can feel like you stepped into a world where everyone knows the rules, except you. And if you're honest, it's not just confusing. It can feel exhausting, discouraging, even a little humiliating at times. You may catch yourself thinking, was it always this hard? Or, did I miss the window? Or, why does this feel so impersonal now? You might wonder how something that's supposed to be about connection ended up feeling so transactional. Profiles reduced to photos, conversations that vanish without explanation, people who say they want something real but act like they don't. If any of that sounds familiar, I want you to hear this clearly before we go any further. Nothing is wrong with you. You're not out of touch. You're not naive. You're not asking for too much. Dating after 40 isn't just the same thing with more candles on the cake. It's a completely different emotional landscape. You're bringing a whole life with you now. Love you've known, loss you've survived, patterns you've outgrown, boundaries you didn't have before. You're not dating from hope alone anymore. You're dating from experience, and that changes everything. This video isn't about tricks or scripts or trying to win at dating. It's about understanding why dating feels the way it does now, how to move through it without losing yourself, and how to open the door to something genuine without abandoning your own needs in the process. We're going to talk honestly about starting over, about grief that can resurface unexpectedly, about confidence that doesn't look loud but runs deep, and about connection that feels safe, mutual, and real. You're not late. You're not behind. You're simply dating from a place of truth now. And that even if it doesn't always feel easy, is a powerful place to begin. Dating after a long relationship carries a weight that's hard to explain unless you've lived it. Whether your relationship ended through divorce, loss, or a slow emotional drifting apart, you don't step back into dating as a blank slate. You arrive carrying memories, habits, shared history, and a version of yourself that was shaped by years of loving one person deeply. Even when you feel ready, something tender lingers. You might notice it on a first date when someone asks simple questions and your answers feel heavier than expected. Or when a laugh, a phrase, or a gesture reminds you of someone you once knew inside and out. Or when you catch yourself comparing without meaning to. Not because you want to go back, but because your body remembers what familiarity felt like. That comparison can be quiet but powerful. Thoughts like, "This doesn't feel the same," or "Why isn't this easier?" can surface unexpectedly, and often guilt follows close behind. The pressure to be open, optimistic, grateful for the chance to start again, as if missing what you had means you're somehow doing dating wrong now. But dating again doesn't require erasing the past. It asks you to carry it differently. After a long love, safety becomes important in a new way. You may notice yourself wanting clarity sooner, wanting consistency, wanting to know where you stand instead of floating in uncertainty. That isn't neediness. That's experience speaking. You've learned what it costs to ignore red flags or settle for ambiguity. Fear often shows up too, even when it's subtle. Fear of choosing wrong again. Fear of losing yourself in someone else. Fear of opening your heart only to have it hurt. Some women move quickly because loneliness feels loud. Others keep emotional distance because vulnerability feels risky. Both responses make sense. Neither means you're broken. What matters is learning how to date without abandoning yourself. That means not forcing chemistry just because someone is kind or available, not minimizing your boundaries to seem easier to love, not rushing intimacy to recreate a sense of safety. It means paying attention to how your body feels, not just how hopeful your mind feels. Calm matters. Stability matters. Respect matters. You're allowed to move slowly. You're allowed to ask questions. You're allowed to pause when something doesn't feel right. Dating at this stage isn't about proving that you're healed, positive, or over it. It's about staying connected to yourself while letting something new unfold. You're not trying to replace the past. You're not trying to recreate what once was. You're building something different with the person you are now, someone who has loved deeply, learned hard lessons, and knows what she needs to feel safe and seen. That takes patience. With others, yes. But most of all, with yourself. Dating after deep love isn't about starting over from zero. It's about starting again from truth. Dating after 40 doesn't just feel different. It is different. And part of the exhaustion so many women feel comes from trying to approach it with the expectations they carried 20 years ago. Back then, dating had a certain rhythm. You met someone through friends, work, a dinner party. Conversations unfolded slowly. Intentions were clearer or at least easier to read. Now, many women step back into dating and feel like they've landed in a completely unfamiliar world. Swipe culture alone can feel disorienting. The speed of it, the way people appear and disappear, conversations that seem warm one day and vanish the next, situationships where nothing is clearly defined, mixed signals that leave you wondering whether you're asking for too much just by wanting honesty. For women who spent years in long relationships, building homes, raising children, caring for others, this kind of emotional unpredictability can feel deeply unsettling. And it's not because you're fragile or out of touch. It's because your nervous system has changed. You've lived through commitment, loss, responsibility, real life. You're no longer wired for casual ambiguity, even if dating culture seems built around it. Many women blame themselves for feeling overwhelmed or discouraged. But the truth is simpler. The rules changed while you were busy living a full, meaningful life. There's also the quiet shock of realizing how much dating has become performative. Profiles curated like marketing campaigns, conversations that feel transactional, pressure to present yourself as endlessly flexible, youthful, low maintenance, easy. It can make you question whether there's room for depth at all, whether wanting emotional availability, consistency, and respect makes you demanding instead of discerning. This is often where self-doubt creeps in. You start wondering if your expectations are outdated, if you need to lower your standards, if the problem is you. But here's something worth holding on to. Feeling uncomfortable in modern dating doesn't mean you're incompatible with love. It means you're incompatible with chaos. Dating at this stage isn't about proving you're still desirable. It's about protecting your peace. It's about recognizing that confusion, ghosting, and emotional guessing games don't reflect your worth. They reflect a system that often prioritizes convenience over connection. When you stop taking that personally, something shifts. You begin to date with clarity instead of desperation, with curiosity instead of self-judgment. You're not behind, you're not broken. You're simply awake in a landscape that rewards numbness, and you're choosing something real instead. One of the quiet gifts of dating after 40 is this: you no longer need to become someone else to be chosen. And yet, many women still find themselves slipping into old patterns, softening their needs, minimizing their boundaries, trying to appear agreeable instead of authentic. It's not because they don't know better. It's because those habits were formed long ago, when being liked felt safer than being honest. Confidence at this stage doesn't look like bold flirting or effortless charm. It looks like knowing what drains you and what nourishes you. It looks like recognizing the difference between excitement and anxiety. It looks like being able to say, "This doesn't feel right for me," without needing a dramatic reason. Many women notice that their old type no longer fits. The spark they once chased now feels unstable. Chemistry without safety feels hollow, and this can be confusing at first. You might worry that something inside you has gone quiet, that attraction feels different. But often, what's happening is simpler. Your nervous system is choosing peace over adrenaline. Authenticity in dating means allowing yourself to want what you actually want, not what you think you should want. It means letting go of rigid checklists and paying attention to how you feel after spending time with someone. Do you feel calmer or more on edge? Do you feel seen, or do you feel like you're performing? Do you feel curious about who you're becoming around them, or smaller? Boundaries play a central role here, not as walls, but as filters. Clear boundaries save energy. They prevent emotional overinvestment before trust is earned. They help you notice when someone is consistently available, respectful, and aligned, not just charming in moments. And perhaps the most important shift of all is this: you stop dating to be chosen, and you start dating to choose. You ask yourself real questions. Does this person's life have space for me? Do their words and actions match? Do I feel emotionally safe here? Embracing your authentic self doesn't mean dating becomes easy, but it does mean it becomes cleaner, quieter, more honest. And when connection happens from that place, it's not rushed or performative. It's grounded, mutual, real. And that kind of connection, the kind that grows without you having to disappear, is worth waiting for. If you're dating after 40, chances are the apps are part of the picture now, even if they weren't something you ever imagined using. For many women, opening a dating app for the first time feels strange, awkward, and honestly a little discouraging. You might find yourself staring at your phone thinking, is this really how people meet now? It can feel transactional, rushed, and far removed from the way connection used to unfold naturally, through friends, work, shared spaces, or simple conversation. What makes it harder is that dating apps weren't designed with emotional maturity in mind. They're built for speed, for volume, for options, for snap judgments. And when you've lived a whole life, loved deeply, lost, built a family, survived heartbreak, changed careers, cared for others, reducing yourself to a handful of photos and a short bio can feel almost insulting. You're not a product. You're a person with layers, history, humor, depth, and resilience. No app can fully capture that. It's also easy to take what happens on these platforms personally. When messages go unanswered, when a conversation that felt warm suddenly disappears, when someone seems interested one day and gone the next, these moments can quietly trigger old doubts, especially if you're already feeling vulnerable about dating again. But it's important to remember that a lot of what happens on apps has very little to do with you. Ghosting, flakiness, vague communication. These are symptoms of the culture, not a verdict on your desirability or value. Many people are emotionally unavailable, unclear, or simply browsing without intention. Using dating apps well at this stage isn't about trying to keep up or compete. It's about clarity that starts with how you show up. Choose photos that actually feel like you now, not a version from 10 years ago and not something overly curated. A clear smile, natural light, something that reflects your real life. The goal isn't to impress everyone, it's to attract the right kind of attention. The same goes for your words. Write in your own voice, simple, honest, warm. If you're looking for something meaningful, say that. If you value emotional maturity, curiosity, kindness, name it. Narrowing the field is not a failure. It's a filter. Boundaries matter more than ever in the digital space. You don't owe anyone constant availability. You don't owe explanations to people who haven't earned access to you. Pay attention to how someone communicates early on. Consistency, respect, curiosity. These things show up quickly when someone is capable of them. And when someone pressures you, rushes intimacy, avoids basic courtesy, or dismisses your needs, believe what you're seeing. Dating after 40 isn't about giving everyone a chance. It's about giving yourself the chance to feel safe, seen, and respected. When you decide to move from messages to meeting in person, keep it simple. Coffee, a walk, a daytime drink, a setting where you can actually hear yourself think. You're not auditioning and you're not trying to win someone over. You're noticing how your body feels. Are you relaxed, curious, comfortable, or tense, guarded, uneasy? Those signals matter more than chemistry fireworks or clever conversation. Attraction can grow. Safety and ease are harder to fake. Practical dating at this stage also means pacing yourself. You don't need to be on every app. You don't need to swipe every day. You don't need to force yourself to keep going when it starts to feel draining. It's okay to take breaks. It's okay to log off and live your life fully in between dates. Dating should be something you add to a life you already like, not something that consumes it. The digital world can be loud and overwhelming, but you don't have to let it rush you or define you. You're allowed to move slowly. You're allowed to be selective. You're allowed to expect effort, kindness, and clarity. Dating after 40 isn't about chasing connection. It's about allowing the right connection to meet you where you are. And when that happens, it doesn't feel chaotic or confusing. It feels steady, human, grounded, and very real. One of the quiet gifts of dating after 40 is that the noise fades. You're less interested in performance and far more interested in truth. You've lived enough life to know that attraction alone isn't enough, charm wears off, and intensity without safety eventually becomes exhausting. What matters now is how someone feels in your presence, whether you can relax around them, whether conversation flows without effort, whether silence feels calm instead of awkward, whether you feel seen rather than assessed. Dates can still feel a little awkward, of course. Sitting across from someone new always comes with nerves. But the difference now is that you're no longer trying to be a version of yourself that will be chosen. You don't have to smooth out your edges or shrink your opinions. You don't have to laugh at jokes that don't land or pretend you're fine with things you're not. You can ask real questions. You can answer honestly. You can say when something feels tender, confusing, or new. And the right people don't pull away from that honesty. They lean in. Deep connection isn't built through grand gestures or constant excitement. It grows quietly in small moments that add up. It shows up when someone remembers a detail you shared casually, when they check in without being prompted, when their words match their actions, when they respect your time and your boundaries, when you don't feel the need to rehearse conversations or second-guess yourself afterward. These things may seem simple, but they're profound. They create safety, and safety is where intimacy lives. Many women worry that they're too much now, too direct, too emotional, too clear about what they want. But what's often labeled as too much is actually self-awareness. It's knowing your limits. It's understanding your needs. It's refusing to settle for half effort or emotional ambiguity. And those qualities don't make connection harder. They make it more real. You're no longer interested in vague promises or situationships that keep you guessing. You want presence, consistency, someone who knows themselves well enough to show up. It's also completely okay to move slowly. You don't owe anyone immediate access to your full story. You don't need to rush vulnerability to prove depth. Letting someone in over time allows trust to grow naturally. At this stage of life, patience isn't hesitation, it's discernment. You've learned that chemistry can be instant, but trust is earned, and building something solid takes time. Not every date will turn into something meaningful, and that's not a failure. It's information. Every interaction teaches you a little more about yourself, what energizes you, what drains you, what feels aligned, and what doesn't. Dating after 40 isn't about collecting relationships or chasing outcomes. It's about clarity. Each experience refines your understanding of what truly matters to you. This chapter of dating isn't about recreating the love you had in your 20s or 30s. You're not trying to relive the past. You're creating something that fits who you are now. A relationship grounded in mutual respect, emotional safety, shared values, and room for both people to grow. Something steady, something honest, something that doesn't require you to abandon yourself to keep it alive. Genuine connection doesn't shout for attention. It doesn't rush timelines. It doesn't leave you confused or anxious. It feels grounding. It feels steady. It feels like being met where you are, not where you used to be. And when it shows up, you'll recognize it, not because it's perfect, but because it feels right in your body, calm in your mind, and aligned with the life you're building now. If there's one thing I hope you take with you from this conversation, it's this. Dating over 40 isn't about catching up, proving anything, or trying to fit into a world that no longer makes sense to you. It's about choosing connection on your terms, with honesty, clarity, and self-respect. You've lived a full life already. You've loved deeply, lost things that mattered, carried responsibilities, and learned lessons you didn't ask for but earned anyway. That experience doesn't make dating harder. It makes it different. And different isn't a flaw. It's a strength. At this stage, you're not dating from fantasy anymore. You're dating from reality. You know what it feels like to be misunderstood. You know what emotional neglect looks like. You know the cost of staying too long in something that doesn't feel right. That knowledge is not baggage. It's discernment. Dating now asks something new of you. It asks you to stay present instead of rushing ahead, to listen to your body and your intuition, not just your hopes, to let things unfold without forcing them to resemble your past, to remember that chemistry without safety will always exhaust you, and attention without intention will always leave you empty. You are allowed to move slowly. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to walk away without explaining yourself into exhaustion. You are allowed to want companionship, love, intimacy, without lowering your standards or shrinking yourself to get it. And if dating feels discouraging at times, that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you're human. It means you care. It means you haven't numbed yourself just to survive the process. Take breaks when you need them. Come back when your energy feels steady again. This isn't a race, and it's not a test of your worth. The right connection won't require you to perform, prove, or pretend. It won't ask you to abandon yourself to feel chosen. It will meet you where you are, in your honesty, your softness, your strength, your complexity. And whether love finds you quickly, slowly, unexpectedly, or in a form you didn't anticipate, remember this: your life is already full of meaning. A partner is not meant to complete it, only to walk beside you in it. You're not late. You're not behind. You're not asking for too much. You're simply dating with your eyes open now, and that might be the most powerful place to begin. Before you go, I want to invite you to join this community of women rediscovering themselves after 40. If you found comfort, clarity, or even just a moment of peace in this video, please subscribe. It helps this channel grow, and it helps more women find the support they deserve. And if you have a second, leave a like and a comment. I would love to hear what resonated with you the most. Thank you for being here. Truly.